Hello, it's Dunstan coming to you today from beautiful Bondi Beach, and it really feels like the first day of spring here today. They've got the City to Surf here tomorrow, so they're just setting up back here all the portaloos and the fences for the people who finish. It's like the Southern Hemisphere's biggest fun run, so that's just a little bit of context. And it really is so warm. It feels like, you know, this would be an impeccable summer's day in England, and you know, it's like kind of only the 10th of August, so it should still be winter. So yeah, it's great. And look, what I want to talk with you about today is how do you know when you're in the flow, when you know, life's just going along and things are unfolding really effortlessly. See, do you ever notice that sometimes you make decisions and you do things that maybe you think you have to do, and it suddenly feels like quite a struggle? Now, you see, we're so used to this. We're taught that, you know, no pain, no gain. Like you know, you have to do things tough. You have to do things you don't want to do in order to get to where you want to be. That most people seem to, and I certainly in the past have lived my life just doing what I thought I had to do, and I was so busy doing what I thought I had to do that there wasn't really any space to do what I really wanted to do. So, and it can be scary, because when you start doing what you actually want to do, you'll probably find that what you're doing is different to what 98% of people out there are doing, you see. But my question is, do you want to have an exceptional life, or do you want to have a life that 98% of people are living? Because let's face it, you know, 98% of people, you know, they may enjoy some aspects of their job, but I don't know many people who absolutely love the work that they do, who work the hours that they want to work. So, you know, chances are you probably spend a lot of your time doing things that wouldn't be your first choice because you believe that that's what you've got to do. So, have you ever had those days or those moments where something different happens, where you just feel like you just decide, I'm actually gonna just do what I really want to do here. I'm gonna go to yoga, or I'm gonna stay up watching a movie till 4 in the morning, or just stay up all night, or you know, the thing is, the reason I'm finding it hard to come up with examples is because more and more I'm starting to live my life just doing what I feel like doing in each moment. Now that can be terrifying, because it's scary, right? I'm not even sure what I'm afraid of, but you know, I want to feel loved, and I want to fit in and feel that, you know, it's important. We're social creatures. We like to belong. But my brother Rad the other day told me that he's gone through some massive shifts in the last 3 months, and he went back and hung out with some of the people that he used to hang out with before, and he only realized how far he's grown and how much he's shifted in that moment of going back and hanging out with people who are working harder than they want to work, and just feeling exhausted the whole time. See, when you start actually just living and doing what it is that you want to do, even if you start small, even if you start with, like, I spoke to a friend who's going to start spending 10 minutes of time each day connecting with herself. You know, when you start to live this way, you start to end up having more and more energy, because your life force, your energy is available to doing the things that are really true for you. And so much so to the point that it actually starts to become near impossible to make yourself do things that aren't true for you. You know, sometimes they're things that you think you ought to do. So next time you feel that, you know, when you feel I should or I have to do something, you just stop for a moment and ask yourself. And, you know, maybe that feeling of feeling exhausted, not having the energy to do something that just feels like a drag, maybe it's because it's not true for you. And maybe you've been too scared to think that actually that isn't, you know, maybe you don't feel like going to work. So, you know, it can be scary, but maybe you need to look at that. You know, if you're turning up, if you're getting up each morning and dreading the alarm clock going off, and you're kind of finding yourself procrastinating and doing everything but get yourself in the car or train or whatever and go to work, maybe it's because that's not really what you're supposed to be doing. So, like I said, it can be scary. So, the message I've got for you is that it's just to trust yourself. And if you feel yourself dragging your heels in the ground, maybe there's a reason. Now, it could be there's something you don't want to face and there's some fear that you need to acknowledge and work through. But what if you're doing stuff in your week that you really shouldn't be doing, that really isn't true for you? And what if you could even just acknowledge that a little bit? And what if you could start to create a life that you love living? Because, you know, you just get so much more energy. My brother Rad, his friends he said, my friends don't know what to do with me because, you know, they were tired at the end of work, they wanted to go to a bar and have a drink and, you know, then wake up exhausted, have to go back to work again. You know, working in hospitality can be hard work. And so, but you know, but his energy is just so shifted and he's just full of life force and doing lots of yoga and eating really healthy food. And see, if you're exhausted and depleted, you probably don't even realize it, you know, unless you really look after yourself, unless you spend time with yourself, unless you do some good physical practices like yoga, or you meditate, you eat really healthy food like organic food, maybe raw food. If you're doing these things, you start to get used to that new energy level. And, you know, the people, just have a look around you and notice how many people just look exhausted and how many people just look like they don't want to be there. And you know, we've all been there, and of course, you know, there's no judgment, you know, such compassion to because we've all been doing what we think we need to do. So my message for you is, if you're feeling exhausted, if you're not looking forward to, you know, your life, if you're not excited about waking up and living tomorrow as a new day, then, you know, the days are ticking away and you don't get them back. So you can choose, you can keep on going and living a life that you're not loving, or you can make a change, you can change something. And yeah, and there's so much help available. There's people, there's friends on Facebook, and there's like I'm so happy to help people, but you know, there's so much support. The moment you choose to start living your life how you want to live it, and you face that fear that's held you doing what you didn't want to do, yeah, you know, it's an amazing journey, and it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart, but I'm cheering for you. And you know, if you're watching this and you're thinking, hell, my life's great already, then good on you. Let's hang out sometime and go for a swim, because the water is cool, but the sun's warm, and it's amazing. It's like the best place in the world to be right now, living here in Sydney for me. So yeah, really grateful for being able to live the life I live, and I love to know that you're going to create the life that you want to create. You know, and by no means have I got it all worked out. I'm still working through things, but lots of bits of life are good. So celebrate what's great in your life and just change the things that aren't working. What else to say? Just change what isn't working. Just look at it, and once you start that, you'll realize that you have so many more choices than you realize. And as you change, one door will open, another door, one door will close, and other things, you know, people will come into your life to help you. And just trust that journey, trust your own wisdom, and do the things you really want to do that are true in your heart. So I'm going to sign off now. It's Dunstan signing off from Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia, and I'll catch you on the other side. See you later.